Hello, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to talk about adding shadow details using what they call a technical pen. A lot of these pens were used back in the day of drafting, and I used them in printing for many years when I worked in the art department, drawing thin lines. They come in very various different thicknesses, so we'll discuss them a little bit later. First, I want to show you some samples of what it looks like. So I'm going to show you two cars, one without my shadowing and one with. So hold on just 1 minute. I'm going to bring the camera down. So close your eyes. Might get a little bumpy. Okay. So here, now I did not build this, but it's in my collection. As you can see, the chrome strip on the side and also the rocker molding. See how it's chrome, but it's just kind of plain. All right, so then we'll put that aside, and then I'm going to show you one that I did, and you can see the difference. Check out the rocker molding at the bottom. You can see the black on the ridges, and also in the molding on the mid molding on the sides. I have added white on the back, which is hand painted white acrylic, and then the front has the black in it. And then also I did the grill in this. Let me show you the grill. See how it's dark? It's a darker black. So I use a matte finish India ink that I get at Hobby Lobby. It's a matte finish, so it's not shiny. It's a little bit more on the matte side. All right, so we're gonna put that aside. So I'm going to show you some samples, and then I'm going to show you how I did it. So here I've done just this Camaro grill. You can see I've done, I hope I'm not getting too much reflection on that. But you can see how it's really opaque. So I don't need to give it, like when you use the Panaline accent color from Tamiya, sometimes you might have to give it 3 or 4 coats to really get it to cover. For something like this, where this I can cover in one application. So here I did a valve cover. So there's one valve cover with it and one valve cover without it. So you can see the difference that I've done there. And here I just did the circle where the little checkered flags are in it. So I use and honestly, I don't know. I've been using these for like 30 some years. So I don't know if I know they don't make, I get the Kohinoor Rapidograph pens, but I know they don't make these anymore. I have to buy them on eBay because this company doesn't make them anymore. And they're basically a thin shaft with a tiny little needle in it with a weight. And to use these, you don't want to apply much pressure. You want to let it kind of glide on there. And they come in different, they're color coded, so they come in different widths. So this particular one is a 0.35 or 0, what I call a 0. And this is like a 0.5, this is like a 1. And they're color coded. I have some thinner ones and I have thicker ones too. So this one just draws, oops, did I put any? I think I didn't get that one started. I just cleaned these. Now, like I said, I've been using these on model cars for so long. So there you can see that line. Oops. That line's going to be a little thicker. And it's just India ink. So I'm going to try to do this on camera. And a nice thing about this, if you make a mistake, because it's India ink, it's water-based. Like if I do this, all right, I'm going in deep. Hang on. Guess that's not going to work. I thought I knew what I was doing. All right, I'm pulling you close. All right. So on this here, let me find my valve covers. Okay, here they are. So if I was to draw that line in there, and there's a groove there, so I'm just following that groove. And if I screw up, all you need is a toothpick, and you can kind of like wipe that edge off. It'll take that nib off, or you can let them dry a little bit and then take off the edges and stuff like that. That's very pliable. It's very easy to use. Now, like I said, I don't know if they make these anymore. Well, I know they don't make these, but if they make a different brand, you could check at Hobby Lobby. Coming back up. You could check at Hobby Lobby, but these are great for adding little shadows on the motor, and especially my emblems and my moldings in the side and rockers, especially rockers. I put black in them, or grills. I do a lot of grills because the needle will fit. The needle will fit inside of these. Now I know lately I've been sanding a lot of mine open, but for grills that you don't want to sand open, these pens work great. If there is a learning curve, you can't press on them. They're very frail. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on them. It's just a tiny little needle in there. But I use these all the time. Been using them for years. They're great for adding shadows if you don't want to use the panel line. I use this instead. Now, I don't use it for... I haven't used it on door lines and stuff like that. But they do come... I can get them in different colors. You can get India ink in different colors. I haven't tried... I've only used black. I think I have maybe has some gray back there, but I basically use black. But it's a very simple thing to do. I use them a lot of my like interiors, like on my steering wheels, like where it'd be open. If they're not open, I'll use black inside of there. Use it for that. Anything where there's a nook and cranny that I can add a little shadow to, around headlight rings, anything. So that's kind of the way that works as far as India ink, and I use them a lot on my stuff. So, and again, these are things that you might not notice, but the camera picks up on it, and you might not notice it unless there's a car sitting very similar beside you. Like to me, you know, looking at this, my Nova, and I'm not saying mine is better than the other one. I'm just saying that you can really see the difference of how that brings that molding out compared to one that just has foil on it. You can really see the difference. It just brings that to life. It just you know, makes it look more real. So that's pretty much it for this one. Just an easy one, simple one. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to seeing one on the next one.